Hello, I'm Gabriella Avram,
Hello, I'm Rosie Finnegan Bell.
and we are here to give you an update on the Laces of Ireland project. I will tell you the story about how we got here, and we'll give you an update about the current situation. So, um, the idea occurred in 2019 when we had our first collaboration between the South Armagh Lace Collective and Friends of Lace Limerick under a collaboration with Northern Ireland's scheme. And we were talking about a lace trail for visitors to the island of Ireland, but also for local lace enthusiasts. And we came up with the name at the Amazing Lace Symposium in 2019. It was crowdsourced. And then we had to stop because the pandemic hit.
Mhm.
In 2022, we came back to life and we tried to start a Facebook group. At that point, we had no funding, just a dream about this project. And in 2023, again, with no funding, we started a YouTube channel and we did a series of 10 interviews with lace makers, lace teachers, and lace artists under the Laces of Ireland title. And then in June 2023, Limerick City and County Council, in collaboration with Friends of Lace Limerick, the South Armagh Lace Collective, and three museums, applied for funding via the Creative Communities on a Shared Island scheme. And in October, when the results were published, we were pleasantly surprised because we got an award for the period 2023-2025. And what was in the plan are mutual visits between the two groups, um, lace making classes in both locations, research on places of lace that becomes available on the Laces of Ireland website and pop-up exhibitions in both locations. So these are our activities. On top of this, there are big exhibitions organized by the three museums. And this is what we're doing in 2025. Rosie, would you want to?
Yeah. So this year, over the course of the summer, we have three major lace exhibitions in the three museums, and those are Limerick Museum, Cork Public Museum, and Armagh County Museum, which are happening across the summer months between July and right through. And then also we are coordinating a series of pop-up exhibitions and talks, which will also incorporate some lace making demonstrations where people can try their hands at lace. Oh, and in addition to that, we're also maintaining the Laces of Ireland digital platform, website, and also our Facebook group, which we now are delighted to have 5,000 members.
Go ahead.
So the first of the exhibitions is in has already opened. We had the formal opening on the 5th of July. It's held in Armagh County Museum in the north of Ireland, and it's the of interest is the museum is the oldest county museum in the island on the island of Ireland. And our exhibition is called Lace and Legacy, and it runs from the 7th of July through to the 11th of October. And of interest in that is the fact that our focus is primarily on lace made in the north of Ireland and in the province of Ulster. There is some lace from the wider island of Ireland. Uh, Specifically Limerick Lace to give a nod to our partnership with Friends of Lace Limerick and Limerick County Museum. Um, but we also have six different groups of lace makers involved in the exhibition. We also have independent lace makers contributing to that exhibition. And the museum staff has said to me it's the largest exhibition that they've ever put on with 109 exhibits. It's a beautifully curated exhibition. Sarah and Sean have done a wonderful job and it's well worth the visit. I should also say that part of the exhibition, we have a number of Irish fashion designers who have contributed to the exhibition, namely Alwyn Burke and Natalie B. Coleman. And on top of all of that, we have the work from the iconic Sybil Connolly, which is on loan to us from the Hunt Museum. And it is really well worth visit. And here's some of the photographs from the actual launch. You can see there in the middle photograph on the top, we have, and unfortunately she has her back turned to us, but that's Mary McMahon, who is our oldest lace maker in South Armagh. She has a lasting legacy, made a lasting legacy to the area. I'll not mention her age, but she has been making lace for a very, very long time. And she has actually, at this exhibition, she has been reunited with the work of Sybil Connolly because she made the lace for the Black Illusion evening coat, which you can see down in the bottom photograph. And also she made the lace for the pink ice. So she's very, very special to us in South Armagh. And you can also see some of the lace, the exhibitions, and part of the exhibition is to demonstrate lace making through the ages. So you can see there's a beautiful Clonus lace Victorian wedding dress alongside of the likes of Sybil Connolly's Evening Illusion coat. And then we also have the work of the more contemporary fashion designers, Alwyn Burke and Natalie B. Coleman, who currently use Irish lace in their practice. And also, I was just going to
Go.
I was going to say the little dress there on the very bottom on the left-hand side of my screen is a little christening gown that my grandmother made. And I am tickled to think what she would think if she had what she would think if she knew that her work was exhibited alongside Sybil Connolly.
Can you tell us a little bit about the events you're organizing this summer?
Yeah, so for our exhibition's running across a 3-month span. So at the end of each month, at the last Saturday of each month, we are hosting a Meet the Maker style gathering in the museum, which will run from 11 o'clock in the morning to 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And it's an opportunity for people to come along and meet some of the makers of the lace, some of the women who've made exhibits for the general exhibition will be there, you know, from the different groups. And as I said, we have 5 different lace making groups from across the province, and they will be represented there. We're also planning to have some lace talks and the later ones in August and in September. And you can see the names of the different groups that are there who are involved in making it. And our plan is also to reach out to the local secondary schools and also the colleges to invite them into the museum to see the exhibition, and also work with our designers, our contemporary designers, and Natalie Coleman on working with the young people. We all, for us, Sybil Connolly is one of our icons and one of our greatest inspirations, but we felt as part of this exhibition that it would be very important that a contemporary modern day designer might be of more interest to our young people to continue the tradition of lace making. Especially in our area in South Armagh, but also across the province. And then the South Armagh Lace Collective are hosting a pop-up event to coincide with European Heritage Open Day weekend, which will fall on Saturday, the 13th of September. And our whole theme around that is the launch of our next project, which is called Making Our Mark. And that project really centers on the idea of trying to mark our local buildings in the town of Crossmaglen, which has a huge history of lace making. So we're currently working with a couple of artists who are creating ceramic plaques for us. And we've already worked on the designs in tandem with a ceramicist and also a maker of porcelain plaques. So that will be launched along with a drop-in and demonstration.
In Limerick, the Limerick Museum will have its exhibition from the 5th to the 30th of August 2025. And it's called A Tribute in Thread, and it's dedicated to Limerick's forgotten lace makers. So we're looking forward to the opening of that exhibition. And then Friends of Lace Limerick will have their own pop-up events in the Limerick City Library. On the 15th of August, we'll have a pop-up exhibition, a Meet the Makers. So we'll sit among books, and we will make different types of lace. And we have Boris lace and Headford lace and Limerick lace and Clonus lace, and let's hope some Carrickmacross. And then at 3 o'clock, I will give a talk on Ireland's lace traditions, introducing this project and the resources we have at hand. The following day, on the Saturday, in the same venue, the Limerick City Library, where the pop-up exhibition will continue, and we'll have a Limerick Lace workshop and a talk by historian Sharon Slater, Laced into the Landscape. She will talk about a potential lace tour, but she will focus this time in the library on the locations. Hopefully, later on, we will develop a guided lace tour. In Cork, the Cork Public Museum is opening an exhibition dedicated to Cork's lace heritage and beyond on the 14th of August, and it will stay open until the end of the year. So that's quite a treat, and we invite you to make it to all 3 locations. And bear in mind that the Limerick Museum exhibition is only open for the month of August. The other 2 are continuing in Armagh until October, in Cork until December, so plan your visits. What else are we doing? We're still working in the background on the Laces of Ireland digital platform. We're publishing Lace News. At the moment, there's a hopefully exhaustive list of events for the summer on the top of our website that you can use for planning your lace trips. We are still working on the description of individual laces. There's already a catalog of lace groups and lace artists. The interactive map contains all the information you need for deciding where to go to see lace and maybe combining locations, where to buy lace or lace supplies and kits and books, a few pointers to places where you can learn lace making. And finally, we have this PDF brochure that you can download, Discover Lace in Ireland. We have an events calendar, and then a contact page and subscription to the newsletter. Our aim is to form a network of lace makers and lace groups that would allow for better coordination so that we don't have all the events on the same day and we can visit each other, and creating communication channels beyond social media. We are also promoting our lace-related events nationally and internationally. Last November, Rosie and I gave a talk to IOLI, presenting the Laces of Ireland project, and we're submitting an article to the OIDFAB bulletin soon on the same topic. Rosie, would you like to continue to where we are at the moment?
So where we're at the moment, we're coming to the end of the project. The Facebook group has grown to almost 5,000 members, and we're absolutely thrilled and delighted with that, because that's a great way of promoting Irish Lace as a whole. And there's lots of traffic and lots of interaction with the Facebook page. We also have our joint events calendar, as Gabriella's already mentioned, which provides people with an opportunity to see what's happening, and to plan in advance if they're coming on a trip. We are continually welcoming visitors on lace tours. Currently, at the moment, we have Mary Barron over in Headford doing an event. And we are also getting requests for groups from various different parts of the world as well. We have been involved in a coordinated type of participation in events such as the Knitting and Stitching Show in Belfast. I know Gabriella's group, the Friends of Lace Limerick, and ourselves in the South Armagh Lace Collective were involved in that last November, along with the Boris Lace Group and also the Headford Lace Group. That's happening again
And
in
the Guild
November.
of Irish Lace Makers, yeah.
Yes, as part of the in tandem with the Guild of Irish Lace Makers. That's happening again this November, and new groups are coming on board with that. And it shows how effective this whole Laces of Ireland project has been in bringing lace makers and lace making groups together. For ourselves as partners on the Laces of Ireland project, we're continuing our regular visits and mutual visits across. We are visiting different lace groups and lace collections around the country and around the island of Ireland. And I suppose one of the biggest resources we have is the crowdsourced booklet introducing lace making groups, lace collections, and providing contact details for people who are interested in discovering lace in Ireland. And that is downloadable from the website.
Free of cost, of course. Now, something about the latest additions to our Discover Lace in Ireland and to the interactive map. Recently, I think it was the June bank holiday, a lace museum opened in Youghal. And it's a must visit. They have beautiful, beautiful pieces, and there's also lace on exhibit in Youghal in the library and in the Heritage Centre. And another addition is the Nano Nagle Place in Cork, that has a beautiful exhibition of lace. And although the current exhibition will be taken down at the end of August, they will have another one immediately after. So the place will always have lace on exhibit. Cork is quite the place because the Cork Public Museum will have its exhibition. The Traditional Lace Makers of Ireland have a pop-up exhibition for Heritage Week in the Cork City Library. And then there's a Nano Nagle Place. So plan your visits. You can find us at lacesofireland.ie. This is our Facebook group, and we have a YouTube channel with the interviews we've done in 2023, and where this video will be added as a digital resource. So thank you for listening to us, and hopefully we have incited you to take a workshop, go to a demonstration, go to a talk, or maybe visit one of the exhibitions. Thanks a million.
Thank you. A warm welcome awaits you.